Ufa al-Fatiha. In the name of Allah. Indigenous style. Indigenous style. We're returning to our indigenous teachings. I hope we know and understand our indigenous, as the people would say, so-called God. Mm-hmm. The return to the indigenous God. The God of the indigenous. Right on. So to return to the God of the indigenous, we got to return to our indigenous teachings. Mm-hmm. Now, this is very important. This is very crucial to our indigenous selves. So I just want to bring it simultaneously. And just bring in can I find the right proper phrase here? What the European nation got to say about themselves. And it's gonna tie in to what we was fed as a child. Okay, we're gonna have it side by side. Let's see. So we can see something here. This is the beginning trauma of all indigenous people, known and unknown. This is what turned our ancestors away from their indigenous creator. So the first thing as a child we all were supposed to hear as indigenous is that we are all are. This is Indigenous Teachers 101. That we are all law. This is very critical as an indigenous being. Because we're going to break this down as we go further. But as an indigenous being in the soil and the land of North America after 1776, you have not had your indigenous name of your God. This is what was taken away This is the most important thing that was taken away from indigenous people. Because after you strip them of their name, of their indigenous creator, you tell me now what has all indigenous people lost? Has they lost just a little bit? Or have indigenous people lost it all?
Lost it all.
And this is why your true name of your indigenous creator is Allah. So when that was wiped away, you lost all. And what was replaced with all was this word God. So this is fundamentally, as a child, you can remember that you never heard the word Allah. But you can in fact remember through your own experience hearing the word God.
Yes, indeed.
Now, this is coming from the European nation sources, and it was exposed by Jean Ray. So if you want to look into a further study of that, that's where the source came from the European nation. And this is about the word God. You hear commonly the word of God. You hear commonly, God bless America. Okay, now let's connect these. This is coming from a child. You receiving in this world as a child. This is why you heard the word God instead of your indigenous word Allah. Okay, in Jean Ray times Q philosophy. This is what the source is for the European nation. Jean Ray's time Q philosophy. Word God is defined as a fraudulent, singular, and evil concept.
Whoa!
This is what indigenous people experience from the word God. Is defined as a fraudulent, singular, and evil concept used by adults to enslave children's minds and destroy the planet's natural reality.
Oh, Lord!
From a child, this is what we all been bearing witness to since 1776, coming into existence after that period of time.
No wonder we in the hole.
They gave us the word God as a child to enslave children's mind.
There you go.
Did we catch this?
Yes, sir.
To enslave children's mind.
Ooh, that's a devil.
And who used this? By adults. They say adults. We know who these adults are.
Yeah.
The foreigners.
Yeah.
The aliens.
Yeah, the aliens.
The strange ones.
Yeah.
The sacrificers.
Yeah.
The paper gatherers.
Yes, indeed.
The land stealers.
Oh, yes.
The resource takers.
Yes.
The criminals. See, and this is their whole criminal enterprise. They whole franchise is built off this word God, feeding it to indigenous children.
That's right.
To enslave indigenous children's minds. Because they doing this to their own.
Yeah, everybody.
They devouring their own. So now another whole nother people,
that's right.
They gonna do the same.
That's right.
This is why you was told not to question
God.
Oh,
I know all that stuff. I never heard it so many times. Watch what you say. Because I'm listening.
This is where it begins. Let's see Let's see, does all law say the same? 95. Science proves to all Muslims that all law is pleased by questioning minds that know how to ask the right questions.
Beautiful.
That's what you was doing as a child.
Yes.
And you was told by this word, God, not to question God.
That's right.
This was enslaving us as a child if we had this experience. We're going to show how this limited you into an individual self.
That's right.
And this puts you in a four-corner cubic reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they use this to destroy all our land, indigenous lands, and natural resources.
That's what they did. That's what they did.
Ray argued that worshiping a word God is equivalent to eating their children.
Good goodness.
This is what we ran into, we was born into.
Woo-wee. And
God, oh, you want?
No.
We want to get as much as we can out.
I just had a reflection.
Hey, right.
They have, not me now, I want to be crystal clear, but they have other people that look like me singing the Star Spangled Banner, and in that song, it said, God bless America.
Come on with it.
Nobody else.
This is how they did this indigenous land. They said one nation under
God.
Okay.
Under their
so now we were children then. Now we
saying the same thing.
Yeah, we was children then. Let's see now with this knowledge, what can we understand now? We was children then.
I wish you could bring that down there to that. Ain't no way you could get that down there when we have that crowd.
If it's somehow just a print a page, we could just print a page.
Okay.
Yep, because
see this, man.
These are the things that is hidden because they got us focusing on working.
Yeah.
See, where we indigenous supposed to be enjoying eating.
That's right. Enjoying life
paradise.
Every day.
Every day is paradise.
Yeah. No job to go to.
And this is what ruined it for indigenous people. We didn't receive our indigenous creator or our indigenous teachers. We received this.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go more into word God. Ray considered God a word scam. A word scam. Think about what's going on now. Scamming is going around high level.
Yeah.
And not only a word scam, God is used to justify the plunder of Earth's resources.
Yes, indeed.
While we sit back, swayed by the word God.
Yeah.
They done got so good with the trick, magic, they got you waiting on God.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
While they plundering.
Yeah.
Setting up state lines, setting up states, founding this all on our lands without indigenous approval.
And also that when you said that, all I could think of is a reflection of where they done went all over the earth with that word God in the King James Bible. All over the planet Earth. Just like you said, plundering. And as they plunder, they looking around and stealing and conquering and destroying. I get it.
This is what they instituted is into the mind.
Yes.
This is mental slavery at its height.
Mm-hmm.
The word God was used for indigenous people as a hateful, artificial concept to take our Creator's bestowal of divine right of use and turn it on his head and make us cursed and not able to do anything on your own Creator given land by all law. So this is what led to what is called word worshipers. This is why we hear but don't see no action.
Right on.
This is called word worshiping.
Yep.
Just bringing you in so you can see, hear, and learn.
Beautiful.
So now, in our indigenous teachings, we don't have such hateful and artificial concepts that don't coincide with reality.
Man.
So our ancestry was so fire. This is why they had to obliterate indigenous culture.
Yes.
Matter of fact, let me bring some of these words in on a ecclesiastical note, on an ecclesiastical reference. So we can go on and get this on wax and out the way. Oh yeah, this is gonna get good. So hold your seats.
It's already good.
And open your ears.
It's already good.
And let the mind learn and know.
Yes, indeed.
So our people is what they wanted us to not know. Our indigenous ancestors. From the time of us now all the way back to the beginnings of this land. The beginnings of this land began with the covenant of Meral or Meril. This is where we understand the pure proto-Canaanite. The pure proto-Canaanite. The Al Dukan was the true covenant name of Abraham. This is why we are indigenous. is why you hear so much about Moors. Moors is not the true name of the indigenous status. Moral, Mary is the true name. Now, this is where Abraham begins his covenant with all law. And this is where he separates from the land of what the Bible relates to as earth. The indigenous name of earth is Ubaru. So when you hear the later day translation of our people are Hebrews, this is what is trying to be said. The indigenous name of Hebrew, Ubaru. That was the birthplace of Abraham and the founding of the people now known as Arabs. So we must understand the journey to Canaan is the beginning covenant of separating Abraham from the land of Ur. Because what they was doing in the land of Ur then, that Abraham separated from and became Moab, it was called Kabbalah. So Abraham grew up in a place where they practiced Kabbalah. So that's worshiping idols, worshiping magic, worship of making themselves a name, worshiping what we read, eating of children, sacrificing living beings, animals to humans. So this is what was going on in what you would call today the so-called East. So the Creator separated Abraham from the so-called East and told him to journey, trust in me and in faith, and journey to this new land that I'm finna bring you to called Canaan in the Bible. So the land of Canaan is the land of Abraham coming into the beginnings of this land of North America, starting with its foundation, Canada. So this is where you get your ice stories and things of that nature. They talking about a time period when Canada was ice at the very beginning. So from that, our father established a whole descendancy. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Zoom out. Now, do you see how big our land is?
Ooh-wee. They gonna split it and put Canada. Damn, ain't no Canada that wide.
This is where you get the word all Duquesne. So when you hear the word Canaanite, all Duquesne, this is where you getting that start of the foundation of Marab, Arab, aka Mary. And then the descendancy descends down into North America. And this is how we all scatter from Canada all throughout the United States,
Yeah.
all the way down to Mexico, down to the Southern Islands. And so all that's ours, people.
Yeah. It's amazing how they divided it up and chopped it up there.
All that belongs to all law. This is what they did not want us to learn and know. See, we so advanced. This is why I'm starting at the beginning. The birthplace of Abraham was not this place. This is where the covenant was made. And when the covenant was made with Abraham, his name changed. And the name change went from Abraham to Marab, Arab. And this is what people are trying to say when they are saying Moors.
Yeah.
But Moors and Marab is not the same. One does not have land covenant. This is your land covenant. This is your true. When you hear the word America, it comes from these two words, Mary and Con. These two right here. This is how you get the word America. So you are the Americans, but not in the true pronunciation. That's a modified GMO. Pure and natural is Marab al Dukan. The Al Dukan, the American.
You see it.
This is how powerful our ancestry was. That when these people called Romans and Christians came to us, we already pre-existed. When they came to us, where they say they traveled from Spain, or if I can have that marker, I'll show you the this is how they got here from Spain. See, and they landed right here on the coastal. Cause my hand right here on the coastal, from Spain right onto the coast.
Yep. Yep.
They landed on us.
Sure did.
So when they landed on us, they landed on Marab al Dukan. So this is how you get what is called America today. Now, who came from Spain to Morocco? Romans and Christians.
Yep.
What did the Romans and Christians call the Moravians? They didn't want to call us Moravians. They were starting to change the identification, stripping the identity to now to get you into the God as the name. So what? Let's read. Let the truth be now revealed concerning the most ancient people. The people of America, the indigenous beings of America, is the most ancient people known as the Morav, the seed of Mary. And the Arab to the Romans and Christians. So when they left Spain, Italy, North Africa, this is the crew they had on the ship.
Germany.
You had the Romans, this coming from Italy.
Yeah.
The Rome conquered Spain. After Spain, see this little canal? They call this the Iberian Peninsula. Traveled down there, went into North Africa, got them a group of Africans. This is what you calling Jews. So up in here, North Africans, this is the Jewish set of Christians. From the 1st century to the 2nd century. So these two collected together as Romans and Christians, together as Amoricans, and came over here to Morav al Dukan. And started wiping out culture. And so this was our culture. Allah is our culture. Now this is why I want you to see it. Number 7, Allah is all cultures and all peoples. This is how advanced our people were and are. And we are the descendants of this greatness. Your people of America it reads number 5. So the first Americans, the Morav, the indigenous Morav, was the first civilization and bringer of knowledge and wealth to Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Syria.
My goodness. Look at how many places. So much wealth.
So from our people from South America, see, when we descended all the way down.
Yeah.
And we're talking about over 10,000 years BC.
Yeah.
We descending, building up our own land, getting this whole mastery down. From mounds to temples to pyramids. As we advance through time, we bring the knowledge to Egypt. And when we bring the knowledge to Egypt, this is where Egypt becomes great. So when we say we are the bringer of knowledge and wealth, we're talking about agriculture, astronomy, knowledge of self, to the regions on the screen right here. Syria, Egypt, and this little area right here. Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
Now you notice the area of Mesopotamia now is Israel. This is what they call the state of Israel.
Yeah, not change the name.
This is how they've been using the science, what they call Moorish science, and keeping you out of the history of what's really going on. So now I'm finna break you into, since we brought all that knowledge to Mesopotamia, Egypt, Syria, this is how the Bible and stuff and the Quran was made. We went over there with all our knowledge, doing the same thing we did here, making records, making family names, descendancy, showing how this thing runs and goes. But we wasn't from there. So some of our people didn't make it back. Some people stayed over there. Some people made it back. We're talking about after years of helping these, we were saying our brothers and sisters, they turned on us. Started taking our names. These are Jews or Africans. They started taking our names. These the first set of Jews. Let me show y'all something too while I put the.
I couldn't see it on the map when you had that up there. Ain't Judea right around in that area as well?
Yep, it's all in the Levant area. See, the first Christians of the way were known as the way before they were called Christians. See, when they was called Christians, this is the 2nd century coming into after the death of Jesus in the 1st century. So Jesus from over here. Jesus from over here. Jesus got took over here. Jesus did not get crucified over here. Jesus got crucified over here. So this is what we're talking about with history. This is how they started stealing all the names. So now, when you see Jerusalem, this is where our brother was crucified. So that's 1st century AD. After that, it's been a mixing of our family line and the stealing of our indigenous history from our indigenous ancestors from Marab all the way up to Jesus and then Prophet Mu'id, who they call Muhammad. So all our ancestors known as prophets are from here, over here. All the way up to Moses, all the prophets was born over here. From Moses on, they was born on this side. Now we still populating on this side and doing our thing over here, but now some of that original bloodline goes over here. This is what it means, the bringer of this knowledge. Then over time period, when we come to the 1st AD, they turn on us. So now go 2,000 years. These Christians that was referred to as calling the Arabs Arabs was Romans and Christians. That's the first set called Judeans right here. The first set of Judeans. Now, let me show you. Plot their revenge. Let me type this in right quick. Plot. Right here. Number 38. To their old home of Tunis in North Africa. See it right there? Tunis is Tunisia. See it right there? Coming in.
Yeah. We have them tip.
They on the tip top
Tip top.
of the Mediterranean Sea, the Tyrrhenian Sea. All this was the Persian Gulf. Renamed. So now we're just tracking history, showing you the development of how these cultures from the other side of the waters came and invaded the good side of the waters. So to their old home of Tunis in North Africa, upon the ruins of Carthage, the Roman families did escape. So we talking about from here. They did escape Spain. That's your Spanish Inquisition. This is where we get the Dark Ages. When we talking about the Dark Ages in history, this is the Dark Ages, this European part. Madrid, Spain, Portugal. I didn't know. Oh yeah, I just learned. Seville, and then the Gibraltar. Then as you go in, this is how they got across. They escaped from the Strait of Gibraltar onto the tip of North Africa. And went on the land, coastline, all the way across to Tunisia. Now, what's important about that, we finna learn. To hide and plot their revenge. So they camped out the plot and their revenge in North Africa. So now when they get their plot ready, guess where they come? Over here. The Moors y'all saying are Jews, the Jews is telling them, remember, because our offsprings come from here going over there.
Yeah.
So as we teaching them the truth, this is how they come back and betray us.
Yeah.
This is what's called the line of Judah. See, the line of Judah ain't from here, nor is the line of Jacob. They from over here. The 10 tribes is from the United States. So now these have become the merchants and chiefs that seek. This all they doing is seeking. Seeking to corrupt the wisdom of the people, of the indigenous people of Arabia. See, and this was the original Arabia. Marab, Arab, Arabia, the land of the indigenous people. But why you don't know that? Because them people came. And when they came with their barbaric culture, their maniac doctrines. And now we finna get into it. So you heard earlier, one nation under God.
Yep.
This is how they took your indigenous status, placed you as a nation when you was a people. So now you went from a worldwide people to a class, a race, a tribe, a breed. You went from the seed of Mary, the children of Allah, to this right here. This is what we're working into. Article 183, nation. See, they call themselves the European nation.
Yeah.
So you finna learn. This is a nation is a 16th century political term. Guess what this means, y'all? Guess what nation means? It's a political term meaning an indigenous people sharing a common cultural identity and system of law, demonstrating a historical continuity, mutual guarantee of habitation within a distinct place within defined boundaries, represented by a body politic, Congress, formally recognized politically through one or more treaties. United States Constitution for
There you go. There you go.
the United Constitution, United States Constitution of America. So what did that do? That took your indigenous status, now blended, or Martin Luther King did, integrated.
I'm glad you put it that way.
And now you can't define your boundaries because now they done shoved it with God.
Beautiful.
See, and this is how they took over everything.
That's right.
With God. All this got to do with one nation under God.
That's right. Well, that's right.
Do y'all know who that is from the study?
Oh yeah.
The history just given.
Yeah,
if you ain't, you can play with yourself if
that's
you want.
right.
Or you can really have a child.
And I like that where it says sharing a common country.
So let's reread it. Meaning an indigenous people sharing.
There you go. That's who's doing.
Who is doing the sharing? Are they sharing with us, or are indigenous people sharing with them?
Yeah.
And this is what needs to be understood and known. But what's not making it understood is God.
Yeah.
Now you eased out and reclassified as indigenous people by these same nations. Check this out now. A nation and indigenous people are not the same.
That's right.
But you can act as if y'all are the same. And forget instead of remember.
Yeah.
That's what they call and have called school, church, and society.
Yes, indeed.
Check this out now. We're going somewhere. The key elements of by original definition of what constitutes a nation. The key elements by original definition of what constitutes a nation are indigenous people. We're going to start right there. A nation can't become a nation without indigenous people.
That's right.
These are the original, what we call the first.
Yes, sir.
The seed of Allah, who created all things in existence. This is what we get into.
Yeah.
This is what culture we had called Allah that they had to take away.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So as the culture of Allah is known as the way. So before we was classed as our own indigenous status, our own indigenous status of naming ourselves, we named ourselves all Sufyan.
Right on.
This is what became known as Indian. Now we should have a connection of why it was changed to Indian.
Yeah.
See, to modify the indigenous people.
Yeah.
And start building upon that to start creating what is called.
Yes, indeed. Oh boy, they do know. Sucking that tough.
See, and this is what created the Census Act. Of 1910. From this Census Act, this is how they started reclassifying indigenous people. They had already started, and by this time, this is when they stopped with the Indians and had the black colored African American.
While you look at that, I just want to say that when I was a young boy living in the country, white folks used to come around with pencil and paper, and they was enacting this right here, the Census Act, and it was counting everybody, and they wanted going out to everybody's household, want to know how many members,
how many people in the family. That's all this is.
Did you ever remember that shit, or your parents? Well, you probably don't, but I can't ask your grandmother.
They did it when I first got here. They came out.
Yeah.
And this is what they was doing.
That's right. Get the count of you.
So they can later name swap.
That's right.
So they took all our ancestral names. These European nations, remember, they came, I'm showing you, they came with revenge.
Yeah.
They didn't come with open arms of an olive branch.
That's right.
They came with a intent of harm.
They sure did.
And the harm is to strip us of our whole, all of it.
That's right.
So to strip us from all law is to strip us from everything we have. No, and this is what's called a nation. So a nation is no nation without indigenous people. Indigenous people is what sets the common cultural identity, not foreigners. Indigenous systems of law, historic indigenous continuity, indigenous politics, indigenous political recognition. See, these things ain't happening because you've been sideswiped by these invaders calling themselves who they are, Romans and Christians. All law said, you are what Marab is. Marab, all Dukan, is all Sufyan. The way. Now, this is beyond our ancestors, but I'm now connecting the ancestors back to all of the divinity where thou came from. The Creator created all our ancestors. So we don't have to worship ancestors any longer like tribes. We worship Allah, which is the creator of all things. See, this is what is called high culture. So we coming from representing from, let's say, the old self, Abraham, to the new self, Marab. To leaving God to listening to Allah. This is all that's being said. Kabbalah is what all of this is, and it starts with God. And so we wasn't studying ancestry until these people came. Now it's all about ancestry because these people are trying to steal land. And land is tied to heirs. So they need your names from these holy people.
Yes, indeed.
That your people wrote down when they went to Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Syria. When they conquered them lands and areas and called it Babel, that's how they got these records. That's how they knew these land masses exist. So on this side of the waters, this is what's called Moses split the Red Sea. So you had two eternal existences. One was called the pure, where they worship not structures, not buildings, not statues, not anything created, not even a sun, moon, and a star. This was the purpose of Abraham. Let's get into some. Yes, I can get a good breakdown for y'all. Now, this is what they reversed and called Kabbalah. Kabbalah is a bad word for indigenous people. For indigenous people, Kabbalah is a bad word. It's hijacking your all Sufyan. And then it's hijacking what is called all Bakah of Abraham. That's what happened when you got Kabbalah in reverse. So I have to show you all these things from intense study. See, the computers ain't fast enough to keep up with the mind. So when we're talking about these teachings here, this man, Noble Drew Ali, brought us what is called the Moorish Kabbalah. He exposed all of the teachings that was hidden about Jesus. And who was hiding them? The Moors. Check this out. The reasons these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
To what we just read
Yeah.
about the bringers of knowledge to Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Syria.
Yeah.
These places are still the same places renamed: Egypt, India, Palestine. They had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. See, the outside world, African and India, it's in this central little place right here. This is where you get the Middle East, the so-called Middle East. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed the secrets. So this is what was coming down the pipeline. See, the children of Ham is where this come from. The children of Ham is the Muhammadans. This is different. This is what's going on the other side of the waters. The word Sufyan originated from all of the high culture, from all level of wisdom, making it through from mounds to temples to pyramids to Kaaba. This is what we call al-Baqar. Al-Baqar is what we have to understand, which is, oh yeah, that's what it is, reverse. The key word, reverse. That's what it's about. The teachings of the two selves, that's Kabbalah. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. And the lower self is truth reversed. So when we're talking about when these European nations, these Romans and Christians, when they reverse the truth, this is what's called Kabbalah. When you reverse the truth and turn it into false words, this is what's called Kabbalah. Kabbalah is this word in reverse. Al-Baqar. If you start from the end, Ka-ba-la. This is how they reverse. This is what Queen Elizabeth was using as the magic to put on the indigenous people of America. So now let's get into, this is Abraham's departure from Kabbalah in the land of Ur to come to the land of Dukan. this is what was set up here. Right here. Abraham's method, often referred to as Babylonian. See, this is very key right here. So when you're hearing about Abraham's faiths, Abrahamic religions, you got to be very careful and you got to be wise. Abraham, the covenant is not with Abraham. So anything in the name of Abraham is leading you astray. The covenant is with Morah, all do come. The covenant is with the first Americans. So you have to start with Morah in order to start with precise awareness of knowledge. That's called epignosis. This is what our first father Abraham had, epignosis. This is the highest knowledge of experiential direct contact with the Creator. No middleman needed, and no physical material thing needed. Here we go. We're finna go into it. The human nature, Abraham's way, is a spiritual approach designed to overcome the egoistic self and unite with the true law, the divine law of nature, or the Creator's law. See, this was the way of America. The way of America, established by Morah, was to overcome self-desire. This is why you're born on this land.
Yeah.
And unite with divine law.
Right.
This is why they ain't born on this land. Everybody trying to get to the land of the holy land of milk and honey.
Yes, indeed.
To have their children born. See, emerging in ancient Babel, it offers a path of connection aiming for unity, love, and understanding over the selfism that led to the Tower of Babel. See, this is what they don't want us to know. This is what they all cover with the word God. So this is what made Morah, because of what was going on in Babel, you know, in the story with Abraham. So Morah observed the surge of human egoism in his era and saw that the desire for power, materiality, caused disconnection, misunderstanding, and war. Y'all tell me today, is it a so-called war going on today?
Been going on 40 years in this country.
So those habits can rub off on anyone.
That's right.
So you have to be careful at these times because you are declared to be in a state of war, so-called war. This is not all true. The covenant of Morah has not been told, and now, as spring is rising, the truth is setting falsehood on fire. Let's repeat this again. Morah observed. Morah all do come. All observe the surge of human egoism, self-egoism, often symbolized as the Tower of Babel. In his time, and saw that the desire for power and materiality caused disconnection, caused misunderstanding, and caused war. This is what al-Sufyan, as the method Marab al-Dukan left for his descendancy as the covenant. He taught us the way to rise above human nature. By forming a unified community, shifting from selfish desires towards unity, community, and loving kindness, known as the Creator's law or divine law of bestowal. See, this is what they rewrote into Jesus. And you thinking Jesus did all this when he was repeating Marab's teaching.
That's right.
Those who followed his teachings became the people of the way. See, which laid the foundations for Romans and Christian nations to come and share this ideology with us on this land, rather than a biological bond. See, and now that's over with now.
Yeah.
We gave them the opportunity to live the idea, but now they want to come and act like they are us.
That's right.
Biologically and genetically, you not us.
That's right.
So now we gotta retie that biology and ideology.
Yeah. That's right.
Is one.
That's right.
Because we did the open arms, olive branch, and look what all the other nations did to us. Wiped out and ate our ancestors. For this biological bond. For this one drop of blood. So this is what's been hidden from us and been disguised as Jesus Christ, Jesus the Christ. So you think Jesus the Christ bestowed you these gifts. When it was Marab al-Dukan, known to you as Abraham. These are the teachings that was followed, and those who was cast out from these teachings, they became the descendants of Adam and Eve. Hence, your Bible. Your Bible is not Abraham's book. Marab al-Dukan's book was al-Sufyan. But the children of Ham and the descendants of Adam and Eve, their book is the Bible and the Quran. So this is how, when we go back to the documents, the key elements by original definition of what constitutes a nation. So this is how Europeans became a nation. An indigenous people, Marab al-Dukan, means literally a body of indigenous people born to a land or region, especially sharing ancestry before any settlement or claims before territories or countries.
Ooh-wee. Born to a land.
Before colonizers, colonials making claims. That's why our Sufyan dates back prior to any of their treaties, constitutions, and any declaration written as law. We have divine law returned for the indigenous well-being. So this is what it's a lot that we can get into. So it's important that we understand what indigenous mean and your indigenous creator. See, a territory is recognized through one treaty or more, usually with the indigenous landowners. So with indigenous landowners, this is how foreigners become nations. But we're talking about Marab al-Dukan. So now let's go into what's going on today a little bit. Now you can get a little understanding of Iran, Israel, and the children of Israel. This has nothing to do with us. These are ancestors, brothers and sisters fighting their father. This is the children fighting Israel. So let's give you a little background right quick. Arda Shah the first, in the year of 224, 244 AD, they renamed Persia Iran. And it was pronounced U-R. I want y'all to keep this in mind. Exactly. So when you hear in the city of they talking about, in the Bible, they talking about Iran. See, you have let me go back to the map. See, you have over here, this is what they calling the Middle East. This is what you've been hearing about when you were so young, growing up. The Middle East, always war in the East, always war in the Middle East. This is why. See, this is the true Arabia made by Marab al-Dukan. This is the children of Ham. This is the children of Marab al-Dukan. This is the children of Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Noah over here. This is Marab al-Dukan. So from all the Enoch, all come from over here. Not over here. That don't come over here till after Moses. So now when we're reading about these people are using our biology to rule lands under covenants that's not theirs. So you didn't know that, but now you know that what they saying with Iran was once Persia. But now we're gonna go a little deeper. The word comes from the ancient Akkadian, means city, people, or land. and like Iran, meaning the sacred age. Hence, Urain literally means the sacred people, the sacred land. This is what's going on in front of y'all face. The term Sassanid is a word falsely attributed to these people as the late 18th century. Now, this is how they corrupted the doctrine and had you say God. Let me show you. Marab al-Dukan was the first to honor the covenant of all law. So who did Marab al-Dukan give his covenant to? It wasn't no Melchizedek as the Bible. It was all law. And this what was transformed into God. So now you finna get the real in-depth of what the priests knew when they was orchestrating the Bible, collecting all the books that they wanted to put the Elizabeth spell on it, the Kabbalah. So this is what Kabbalah is, and this is where you get the two cells from. The main elements introduced through religion and culture of the Manes. Like I like to say, you know how we say the word finesse? When somebody trying to finesse you, when these people call finesse, maness. This is when they maness or finesse your mind and spirit. Man, this stuff is deep what they did. And if you don't fight this yourself, the ignorance, you dying with it. This is the understanding of what the Bible is talking about and why you don't understand what it's talking about. Because it's not your book. But this is what it's saying. The two primeval forces. This is what you get in the Bible. It's about two primeval forces predate and exist throughout the heavens. Did we say that? Predate and exist throughout the heavens. These two forces. The heavens, the earth, and all that exists in between, one good, the other bad. It sound familiar? This is where you get your good and bad. As a child, remember they wanted to enslave the mind. Remember, all this is to enslave you as a child and all children. And so when you grow up, you're going to be loving this doctrine. You're going to be loving God and not knowing where it even came from. That the concept of God or word God is a tool used by academic and religious institutions to mentally enslave humanity, particularly by indoctrinating you as a child. So if you already been indoctrinated, God is sending you to hell, that's bad. Or you want to be a good child, get gifts for Christmas, that's heaven. So you already been trained to receive this God or this alien God, this God word. Now check this out. God word, when it's coming from foreigners, it's a virus. The word God as a virus. As a language and the idea of the word God are artificial constructs that prevent humans from seeing reality. By teaching children the word God, educators and parents poison their minds, effectively making them educated stupid. This is what you would find if you was able to trace yourself back to a child. This is where it all came from, so you can understand why you don't accept things as it is. The word God to trap the minds of the people. To trap you in a time cube, reincarnation.
If people would just be honest with themselves, they know that they've been caught in this same trap that you presented to the world today on the World Wide Web. Because I was caught up in it. Because once upon a time I ain't know nothing but God at all. And all my folks, the ones I know before they didn't come out, the one gone to the grave, they went there just like that right there with that thought. Because I just found out myself something just a little over a decade ago. So that's how I know. Because I was right there with it. I get it.
That man invented the word God as a form of evil to indigenous people. Because it denies them reality, thereby enslaving their minds and all the generations through a ignorant education. This is why when you ask people, what is God, who is God, you get various answers. So this is what this became. God would be the primeval force of good, and devil would be the primeval force of bad. So here we go. The God force dwells in the realm of light. The good God force dwells in the realm of light. This is all fictitious, y'all. Just recapping. The good God force that dwells in the realm of light in the heavens and is the Father of majesty and greatness. The Father of greatness, who possesses four faces, being time, light, creation, and virtue, and possesses five Shekinahs, being intelligence, reason, thought, reflection, and will. That's the good God. Now the evil devil force dwells in the realm of darkness, below the realm of light on earth. This is what the priests knew now, that they wouldn't tell their congregation of what they were serving and worshiping as God and the devil. And is the father of knowledge, teaching known as Satan, king of demons, and Kashaka, ruler of learning, ruler of teaching, and ruler of knowledge. who possess 4 faces, being air, fire, earth, and water, and also possess 5 attributes, being forgetfulness, greed, avarice, pain, and death. You heard the phrase "as above, so below."
Yes, sir.
Allah never said that. It came from this stupid, ignorant education of God and the devil. The world of light is infinite in 5 directions: north, south, west, east, and above. That's what they call the world of light. Yet it is constrained by evil darkness below. The world of the evil devil is infinite in 5 directions: north, south, west, east, and below. Yet it is constrained by light above. Hence, as above, so below. See, you won't get nowhere. This is all ignorance, thought out by these people who wanted revenge to steal your land biologically and steal your system of ideology, and now make this and give this to you as the Bible. But now here goes the truth to how everything is in society. All men and women, this is what the priests know. All men and women are born with an ignorant mind. Check this out now. This is why they bring you in, especially as a child. All men and women are born with an ignorant mind, being the state of not knowing, the state of ignorance, the state of stupidity, the state of foolishness, and the state of unclean spirits. So when everybody born in society, you are declared an idiot. You are declared to be born with an ignorant mind. This is what they teach. This is why you need to go to school, church, in society. And all this is just going to accumulate just to tax. They only doing this just to steal and call it taxes. All men and women are born with the ignorant mind, the state of not knowing. That's the first state. Second state, those that was born with an ignorant mind, if themselves choose to educate themselves, then they may develop a second soul. This is where you get the word soul. See, God and soul working hand in hand. Just show you the indigenous didn't need to know all of this right here. So the word God goes with this word soul. This is very key to know, especially in our day where you hear people selling their soul. So that's a devil word, phrase to cover up something that's really going on. See, soul is but a word designed to separate and control. God is but a word designed to separate and control. See, this is very key. God is no different to ancient psyche of the Greeks. God is no different than the ego of the Romans. In my history, what we've been going over in history, God is no different than the self. Soul and God is but a word designed to separate and control. So this is what they call a Trinity. So those that just say, let's use the example as a church. We're using that as a place to recognize that you finna go through this 3-step process. You saying that you ignorant when you were born ignorant. Secondly, you saying that you have educated yourself, that you was ignorant, and now you need to learn a state of consciousness. Hence Christ consciousness. It's the second level. This is how you perform and do. So we have a big classism going on here. You got people born every day. But do you have people educating themselves? If you're not educating yourself, guess what happens? You grow up ignorant.
That's correct.
And no one is going to show you any pity for being ignorant as you grow older. But if you decide to educate yourself, this will give you ability of consciousness. The ability to act, perform, and do. This is what they know that you won't do due to the work schedule. This is why they don't have you educate yourself, but they have you label, work. So this is why most people can't get out of it, because it only deals with education. We're talking about your mind here.
Yeah.
And it's 3 states of your mind: ignorance, consciousness, and then spiritual perfection. This is what we get to. This is what you call your priest, your pastor, or any spiritual authority. Only those that have dedicated themselves to the highest scripture are worthy then to reach the 3rd state of mind. They go to 3rd heaven, which is spiritual wisdom. So the society we in does not teach spiritual wisdom. So how would any indigenous being free themselves through their system? You would have to join a system. That's why they call societies secret societies and fraternities and organizations, to take you from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, which you will find out that is all sham. It's all a scam. It's a word God scam. See, with all law, you didn't have to go through none of this.
That's right.
But when you worship another God, now you got to go through these hidden doors.
Yes, sir.
You got a waiting period. You got to obey period. You can't receive this until you finish this period. And this is what they designed, a caste system. This is why Black, Indian, and white is on a caste system, but not indigenous. All Sufism. So now listen to this one. All sentient beings who have reached the status of educating themselves have free will to choose to transgress sacred law or sin, or obey law and perform good deeds. Both sins and good deeds accumulate over a life and transfer to the next lifetime if not completely accounted. However, those possess only an ignorant mind do not have will. See what's coming?
Oh,
So
yeah.
what that means, you just wait.
Yeah.
See, if you ain't got education, you just
That's right.
sitting there just
You're
waiting.
sitting there waiting. That's what we do at. Waiting on the white man.
Hey, just sitting there waiting. Hey, if you educated, then you got a consciousness to act.
You go get it. You go get it.
You say a hustler, you started turning into a hustler. You done learned something.
That's why you see people that, even though they done went to the city and done joined Babylon, but that just to show you, even in that, you see how people hustle for themselves. In the system don't want it because they ain't getting part of that money.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the bottom line. That's why you throwing them in jail. Mm-hmm. If you go work for them all day long, pat you on the back and rub your head, you're a good old boy. Mm-hmm. How you doing?
Mm-hmm. That's what we call. That's what's called stage one in this documentation. Hmm. So the cause of all sorrow originates from what is called Adam and Eve. This is why people think they born in sin, because they receive and accepted in ignorance. Mm-hmm. And then as a child, you couldn't defend it. Uh-huh. So you grew up with it, ignoring, because you was told not to question God. This is the devastation of it. The cause of all sorrow, the cause of all pain, the cause of all suffering originates from what is called Adam and Eve, who turned their back on all law. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is you Adam one side, Eve the other side. Yeah. See, this two little things keep going all in all in duality. Yeah. Never becoming unified.
That's right. And speaking of Adam and Eve, and what was said about born into sin, well then, when Adam was born, Adam and Eve, when they had the first child, with the two sons they had, Cain and Abel. Well, they wasn't born into sin until one of them committed it to the other one, but before then, they were born, but wasn't no sin until he killed his brother. So you can see all that tricky-dickery stuff got going on there.
It's what you was fed as a child.
Yeah.
And if you didn't educate yourself, this is all you got.
That's it.
So when you die, that's all you have.
That ain't good.
Because your mind never dies. Mm. And you don't know that you need to educate it. Because you got to die. So when we're talking about number 27, as it is written in the way of Islam, which is the same as it is in heaven, our mind never dies. But lives on into the next world.
Yeah.
So that's only beautiful if you with Allah.
Yes, indeed.
But it's not beautiful if you're not. You're going to the same place as the doctrine created. This is why I'm here trying to help y'all. Because you taught your children this stuff. That shows you cemented in where you're going. You don't teach your children somewhere that you're not. So a certain teaching was passed down called God. And in your mind, you say you know God. God is an education. So if you know God, then you will be conscious. And if you ain't conscious of spiritual wisdom, then you can't know God. So if you think that you're born in sin, you can't know God. If you think you are separated from the Creator, you can't know God. If you think God is the Creator, then you don't know God. God is all law. You got to know this. This is why death, or the ultimate truth, is death. Because this is the only time you will know if you're a liar or not. Because with this two-side thing, this is where you get, there are two cells. So with the two cells, now this is where most people are trapped in. This is a teaching designed to take you away from all law. You can play with your own life as you want to play, but no death, you will be affected. Because the mind is what you are leaving to be just nilly-willy down here. I don't know. I just don't get it. I can't get into ignorance. I don't know. I'm just trying to explain it the best way. Because sins, this is what most people believe in their mind, that sins are inherited.
Yeah.
So in your mind, that's going with you, that you are going into sin again. One who was born poor must be obedient to their master.
Ain't that a shame?
This is all the false concepts of God that has been piled into the children's mind. So as they grow older, they are subjugated. You are taught to obey your master and perform good deeds in order to improve your position. See, this is all a lie. Remember, all this is falsehood. I'm just reading it out to what the people are under. And what, as a child, this is why they use God. So you would never question none of these things as you get older, and you would just die this way, which would be a win for them and a loss for you. The cycle called death and life, in seeking to improve and reach spiritual wisdom of mind as spirit man. This is what was called Brahman, Abraham. See, not Marab, but Abraham. So you're going to keep going into this cycle, this Abrahamic cycle, because you didn't understand the truth. You could have just left it alone. You didn't have to believe in none of that stuff. But since you chose to believe in it and then not educate yourself in it, this is how you made yourself a mess that you got to clean up. You was helped to make a mess of your life by this word God. Now we're going to learn a little bit more. What is called the cycle, the circle of Abraham, the circle of spirit man, the circle of Brahman, the circle of God, the spirit of God. This is called chakra, which is a Persian Sanskrit for wheel of life, the book of life, the tree of life. See, all this is thing people got to achieve this instead of learn and educate themselves. This is not a place to go. It's just an education of the mind to know. You don't go to heaven. You don't go to these are educations. These are educations of your states of body, mind, spirit. And since you don't know that yourself, they created a class system or a caste system for society. It sounds like this. All people of society is classed into caste systems. This is why you say you black. You don't know what that means. That means you are ignorant. You have no inheritance. You have no light. You are dumb as when you was born. That's how they defined it. And you accept their defiance or their definitions. So here go how they define society. Meaning to reduce, to make smaller. This is what society means. To reduce you, to make you smaller. And then make you into a tribe. Where you just try. Now, the highest society are the society of scholars, teachers, and priests. This is why we see these people in rulership positions. Board meetings, council boards, board of directors. We're talking about the highest people are the learned people. These are the people with a mind. You can't fool a wise mind. Especially understanding all of this reducing, trying to make people smaller and smaller. Now, under the educated class is the mid-educated class, what they call the middle class. These are your warriors. These are your regional kings. And these are your administrators, your ministers. These are your ministers, your soldiers, and your kings. The next, or the poor class, is the merchants and the farmers. The second lowest class are the artists and the free laborers. Team. They got this. That's what I'm saying. This stuff is designed on your land, and you just voluntarily, willingly, willy-nilly sign up.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you're doing to yourself. The lowest of all society then are the Slavs, the slaves, called body. So you got to be careful now. Because the educated person have a body, the warrior have a body, the merchant have a body, the farmer have a body, the artist have a body, the free laborer has a body, and even the slave has a body. So you got to be careful of how you identify yourself as a body. Because some people observe you as a body, and if you have a certain look to your body, you are deemed a slave. You are deemed a merchant. You are deemed a farmer. You are deemed a warrior. These are all dress codes.
Man.
Just go in your society. These are all dress codes. Now, why was this made? This is to make the mirror of all law, to mirror the way of all law. This is why they gave us God. And so this is where God was born. So this is why you see God said everywhere, because of the purpose of his purpose. So just remember, in closing, the opening is always open. But as it's written in the All Sufyan of Islam, which is the same as it is in heaven, your mind never dies. So educate your mind, because your mind lives on into the next world. So what's in your mind, I don't know. I know what's in mine. That's the job down here. As-salam, 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 all Sufyan.